You talked about global developments that are shaping many industries at this point in time. Artificial intelligence is just one of the things that, in many cases, are disrupting the way that people are running their businesses. You talked about that a little bit, in your previous comment. The power of generative AI, what it's being able to do for you in terms of efficiency, in terms of product development. I mean, could you give me some color on the way the things have been able to kind of be turbocharged on account of that, if at all, so far?
Well, a lot of it I'm not able to specifically speak about. But for example, we started off talking about the quality of our manufacturing, for example. So one of the many things we've done is significantly increase our investment in training of our workforce and our employees. But one of the other things was the application of artificial intelligence to the description of work instructions. Now, I'm not the smartest person perhaps in the Boeing company, but I looked at some of the instructions myself and I thought, not sure what that means. And then we apply AI and you go, oh, really? So that's a kind of lower end, but very effective outcome of the application of AI. And then we have artificial intelligence introduced into the development of an autonomous military aircraft, one of which we've developed in Australia in a co-development and investment. So you've got everything from relatively everyday tasks that have to be done, whether it's going through contracts, whether it's HR processes, whether it's simplifying instructions on a production line, right through to the very end, the very top end of aerospace capabilities and platforms. So, and that's another thing too that I should also say to you, that as far as India is concerned, Prime Minister Modi, of course, in India for India and from India to the world. And we are fully signed up to this. And one of the things that we'd like to do more of in India is co-production, working with India and Indian companies in producing materials that are essential for our aerospace platforms to go back into the United States, and also developing, co-investing and developing in platforms in India. And over the next few days, you'll see us make an announcement about a joint project that we're doing in the autonomous space, in the defense space, which will be very much a model we think for the future we'd like to pursue, where Boeing co-invests with India in the development of a capability that India wants, that India needs for India, and then perhaps for export to the rest of the world.
That's interesting. So when you talk about co-investing and co-producing for India, and then perhaps making that as a template for the world, you gave us one example of something that we could expect you to ink fairly soon. But what's the ambition there? What are the spaces that we could be talking about potentially?
Well, look, firstly, a lot of countries, and India perhaps is foremost amongst them, a lot of countries say, well, we're happy to buy your products. They're world-class, but we'd also like to make these products in my country, in this case in India. What can and will you do to work with us to develop them? So whether it's working with some of the high-altitude space programs, for example, helping in that area, or whether it's working in undersea autonomous systems, or whether it's working, and we had a very close look at working with India on an Indian multi-role helicopter, for example. So in terms of the future, it could be in the defense space, it could be in the commercial space. But it's not for us to tell India what we should be developing. What we do is we say to India, what sort of capabilities do you want? And how might we be able to work with you in co-investing, co-developing this product in India, as I say, for India? So we're all in as far as India is concerned.